Hi everyone, I'm Piljae Kim from Dongsu University. Let me talk about utilization of smart logistics robots, current status, and development strategy. Recently, we have heard two quite different kind of news regarding successful logistic companies, that is Amazon and Coupang. As all of you know, Amazon introduced logistic robots in its warehouse about 10 years ago. And now the number of the robots is doubled. Well, even over tripled, in my opinion, compared with the beginning. By comparison, Coupang, which is nominated as one of the most innovative companies in South Korea, has been employing more and more people in order to cover great amount of logistics. Last year, Coupang said in the media interview it has no plans to introduce logistic robots because the efficiency of the robot is still low, particularly for the country with a small area such as South Korea or Japan. It seemed to be judged that the robot in logistics field can be efficient only in the big country like the USA and China. Well, it is a good point to check the fact, is it? Do you think logistic robots are not efficient compared to human labor in a small area? Let me touch on the situation of Japan. Well, many mechanical or electronic manufacturers in Japan, such as Hitachi and Sharp, have invested a lot in logistic automation system using robots. You can see what they are doing using robots in logistics on the slides. As you can see, Japan has already adopting drones inside the warehouse, which is not challenged by Amazon. From my point of view, Japan is thought to have even better performance than companies pioneered this field. From this case, we could say that logistics robot can be efficient even for the country with a small area, right? Let's check out the domestic situation. Well, in fact, companies have been interested in logistic robots mainly due to the rising labor costs. But unfortunately, only a few technical choices are available. The Korean government is expected to see rapid growth in logistic robot market and has been accelerating the development of logistics innovation technologies based on basic research. Let us look at some recent newspaper articles on the slide regarding the logistic robots. As you can see, it is clear that logistic robots becomes an irreversible trend in Korea. As far as the market is concerned, logistics robots are leading the market for service robots. That is, logistics robots are one of the hottest area in the robot sector. The reason is that Amazon and Alibaba have been actively pushing for automation of logistics, warehouse, and delivery. Anyway, I think it's become clear that logistics robots is an irreversible trend, and it's better to follow the big trend than counter it using one or another reason. In the online logistics industry, which requires simultaneous handling of small quantities of various products and fast delivery, global companies are building automated distribution centers that involves investing huge costs because it is difficult to cope with the operation method of logistics centers that rely solely on humans. Logistics robots are currently being used in distribution centers, mainly to transport cargo, pick goods, or pack or sort them. By comparison, domestic companies have insufficient investment and utilization related to logistics innovation technology. Especially while there is some demand for logistic robots in domestic distribution centers, this is not yet expanding into business. The competition for the application of logistics robots in the global logistics industry becomes fierce. But automation in the domestic logistics industry and the introduction of logistics robots are relatively sluggish. Industrial logistics robots have been mainly used for transporting or classifying materials, mail, or carrier for product assembly in factories or warehouses. Indeed, in developed country, most of the personnel, except for a few management parts, have already been replaced with robots. However, in Korea, the introduction of logistics robots is low, mainly due to poor understanding of such technology. In addition, technology development in the form of a modular common solution for logistics robots has not yet been conducted. What should we do from now then? Well, in my opinion, in order to promote smart logistics robots, we first need to understand current logistics robot technology. To promote the revitalization of smart logistics robots, companies first need to increase their understanding of current logistics robot technology. In this research, we clarify the logistics robots and suggest which one could be better solution for us. Let's move on to one of the most basic concepts of the logistics robots. First, let me talk about AGV, automatic guided vehicles. AGV is also known as GTP, goods to person, and since Amazon took over Kiva systems and started to introduce grid-based AGV, China's Alibaba has adopted mass-produced AGV logistics robots. AGV has the advantage that it is useful for large-scale warehouses in a manner suitable for a structured driving environment, and its efficiency has been verified by Amazon and Alibaba. However, AGV has the following disadvantages. First, since AGV can only work in a predetermined form, the utilization is limited for dynamic environment. The initial cost is also high because the entire warehouse must be modified for AGV driving. In addition, if there is a change in the system or environment, a huge reinvestment cost may occur. Next topic is AMR, which represents autonomous mobile robots. Well, let me skip the detailed operating principles of AMR this time, but at least you could check from the slide. AMR is designed to avoid the unexpected obstacle. It can adapt for the dynamic environment. Since AMR can be used in existing logistics warehouses, utilizing existing facilities, it can reduce the initial investment cost. It can also be equipped with various autonomous driving algorithms and therefore has advantages of flexibility in terms of its applicability. There has also been an active movement to promote research and introduction of AMR. From both technical and costing point of view, AMR seems to be a more realistic alternative for domestic companies. Despite the fact that many companies recognize the importance of robotic logistics, one of the key factors that cannot actively overcome is that it requires a huge investment to switch to robotic logistics. Most of the companies that make aggressive investments in smart logistics robots are mainly world-class logistics companies such as Amazon, or domestic large companies like CJ Logistics. The transformation to smart logistics using robots is highly costed project. The next subject is on social impact of companies. Social impact means the perceived pressure that a company receives from its surroundings to perform a specific action. Domestic logistics companies have been largely passive in introducing smart logistics robots due to various factors, including social impact. Initial cost could be down by introducing AMR, and the social impact of companies is changed that the companies are expected to accelerate the smart logistic robots. Let me conclude. It is clear that logistics robots is an irreversible trend. The introduction of logistic robots are relatively sluggish for domestic companies due to high introduction cost, social impact, and so on. Initial cost could be down by introducing AMR, and the social impact of companies is changed that companies to accelerate the smart logistics robots. Domestic companies need to consider the utilization of AMR in order to transform to smart logistics. Thank you for your attention.